What's up, YouTube? I'm back again. It's been a minute. Only been, I think, maybe a week or so since I posted last. Just been busy with a lot of life challenges, but I'm back. And I'm back with a comparison video. Now, I haven't done a comparison video in a minute. And I thought I had actually compared both of these devices, but I didn't. Like, I don't know how I missed that, but I didn't. So today I'm going to compare the Mi 11 Ultra against the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Now, let me say this really quick. I love both of these devices. That's why I have both of these devices. Now, of course, the Mi 11 Ultra is my favorite smartphone, period. But I love the Pixel 6 Pro too, because each phone has things about them that's very, very special. So that's why I have both. Now, you know, the Mi 11 Ultra was a no-brainer for me to keep that, but I wasn't really sure about the Pixel because there was things about it, like there was at least 10 things about it I really just didn't like. But and then I actually sent it back. The first one I had, it was the gray or black one, or grayish black one, or whatever. I wasn't that fond of that color anyway. So when the price dropped dramatically, I decided to go back and I said, I'm not going to get that same color. I'm going to get the cloudy white. And I like the cloudy white a lot better because I could actually, you know, if I decide to use this without a case, which I normally keep cases on my phone just in case, because I mean, a drop can happen at any time. But I decided to get the cloudy white because even without a case, you're not going to see no fingerprints. Wasn't the same with the gray and black one. You could see it was a fingerprint magnet, but the cloudy white, you definitely can't see any fingerprints. So I decided when the price dropped below $350, I said, now I think it's worth getting this because the cameras on this is great. And of course it's pure stock Android and it runs and is very reliable. But let me get into this comparison. Now, before I get started, do me a favor. These comparison videos really take a long time for me to put together. So I'd appreciate it if you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more comparison videos like this. And of course, other videos that I will be doing very shortly. All right. First thing is both devices were released in 2021. Both are flagship devices. So both are top tier flagship devices, the best of the best. Now, when it comes to the carriers, only the Pixel is unlocked for all carriers. The Mi 11 Ultra GSM only. It will work on T-Mobile, and I get full 5G services with no problems at all. Now, whether it work on AT&T, I don't know. You have to check with your carrier. I cannot tell you that. If you decided you're interested in the Mi 11 Ultra, check with your carrier first before you decide to purchase this device, if this device is something that you were looking to get. All right. When it comes to price, now the Mi 11 Ultra is going to be considerably more expensive than the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, this is such a unique device, but it's unfortunate that it's still so pricey. Now, before Giztop decided not to sell it anymore, it was going for like $600, which was dirt cheap. I mean, this phone, when it first came out, was almost $1,400. So whoever didn't get it when it was $600, you just missed out. Now, the lowest I've seen it for on eBay was $700. So from $700 to over $1,000 is what it's still going for on eBay. Now, when it comes to the Pixel 6 Pro, the lowest I've seen it for was like $339, fully unlocked on Amazon, the 128 gig version. So, I mean, variant. So if you want to pick up this is going to be by far the cheapest route when it comes to finances. But finances may not be an issue for you, so you may still want the Mi 11 Ultra. Just want to let you know, the price different. There's a big price gap between these two devices. Next, let's talk about the design. Now, of course, both of these devices have a unique design. You have this huge back on this Mi 11 Ultra, but you don't have it for nothing. You have that rear secondary display there. That's very, very useful, and we'll talk about this a little later on. But you got your 3 cameras back there, your wide, ultra wide, and your telephoto periscope lens, your laser autofocus. And of course you have your, your regular wide, ultra wide telephoto laser autofocus on the Pixel 6 Pro. So it comes down to which one do you like best when it comes to design. I love both, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with the Mi 11 Ultra only because it's just so unique and you're not going to see anybody, at least in the States, with this device. I haven't seen not one person with this device, and I probably won't. But you got that secondary display that is very, very useful. So I would go with design for the Mi 11 Ultra, but most people would more than likely pick the Pixel 6 Pro. But I like them both. They both have great designs. All right, next, let's talk about button placement. Now, button placement doesn't matter to everybody, but it matters to me because it's all about comfort. When I'm using my phone, I want the buttons to be easily reachable. Now, with the Mi 11 Ultra, power button is right here where it belongs, the first button, and then the volume rockers are right above it. Very, very easily reachable. So when I want to turn my phone off, boom. The button placement on the Pixel 6 Pro, for me, I hate it. It sucks because the power button is way up here and the volume rockers are down there. I don't like this button placement. Now, I think I've only heard one reviewer said that he loves this button placement of the Pixel. More power to the brother. Everybody's different. Everybody, it's not an issue for everybody. Now, to avoid having to reach all the way up here and being uncomfortable, all I do is when I have the screen on, just double tap to turn the screen off. Now, I'm using Nova Launcher, so I got it set for just double tap just to turn the screen off because I'm not going to be stretching all the way up here trying to reach my power button. So I hate the button placement on the Pixel 6 Pro. Excuse me. Absolutely hate it. Next, let's talk about build quality. Now, both of these devices come with Gorilla Glass Victus on the front. Now, the Pixel come with it on the front and the back, but the Mi 11 Ultra has it on the front, but has a ceramic back. Now, when it comes to build quality, they're both top tier A+. Now, which one feels better? I like the way the build quality feels on the Mi 11 Ultra, but it's a fingerprint magnet and it's super slippery. It's like holding a wet bar, a bar of soap that's wet. I just can't navigate this phone without a case. I just can't do it. With the Pixel 6 Pro, I love the way it feels in my hand. Feels very premium. Both feel very, very premium. But this phone is definitely not slippery and it's definitely not a fingerprint magnet. But when it comes to overall build quality, both are great. One is not better than the other. It just comes down to personal preference. But if I wanted to use this without a case, I could do it and feel good about it, not worry about it slipping out of my hand and not worrying about wiping it off because it's not a fingerprint magnet at all. Next, let's talk about Face Unlock. Now, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the Face Unlock except the Mi 11 Ultra does have a super fast Face Unlock and the Pixel 6 Pro does not have Face Unlock. Now, I know for some people out there, they don't care about Face Unlock. I do. I want more than just one way to open, more than one biometric way to open my device. I want a fingerprint sensor and I want a Face Unlock. Now, I miss the days of the Note 9 when you had a iris sensor where you could open up the phone with your eyes. So with Samsung's Note 9, I think you had at least 6 different ways to open up your phone. You could open up with your voice, you can open up with a code, you can open up with a swipe, you can open up with your eyes, your face, fingerprint, and I think that was it. But that's a lot. 6 different ways to see. I like that. I like having all those different ways to open up your device, but you're only getting one way. You get 2 ways. You can use a pen or you can use the fingerprint sensor. So Face Unlock, no Face Unlock on the Pixel 6 Pro. Next, let's talk about always on display. Now, both have an always on display. I'll wait till they go out. Now, I'll say this while we're waiting. The Mi 11 Ultra has the better always on display. Why? Because it's customizable. I could use a picture. There's so many different variations of an always on display that I could use. With the Pixel, what you see here, that's all you get. That's all you get. You don't get nothing different. You can't make out what those notifications are because they're all the same color. This is just boring, and I don't understand why Google would do this when they made Android, so everything should be customizable. I don't understand why there's only one always on display. Makes no sense. But the Mi 11 Ultra always on display is highly customizable, and I love it. Now, I don't have any notifications at the moment, but even when you see the notifications at the bottom, you see the actual icon of the notification. I mean, if it's a Facebook, you actually see the Facebook is blue and it's the actual icon. So it's far superior always on display on the Mi 11 Ultra. It's not even close. Next, let's talk about the in-display fingerprint sensor. Now, both of these have an in-display fingerprint sensor, optical. Now, I like both. Both work really well. Now, the thing I'll say about this one, you have a lot more haptic feedback. It's stronger, and you get a nice animation, which you can change. You can go into the settings, and I think there's at least 4 different type of animations that you could use to change how the fingerprint sensor looks when you press it. So you can see this is good, and the one on the Pixel is excellent. No problems at all. You just tap it, turns right on, has a little haptic feedback, but really the only animation you're getting is the way the screen comes on. Other than that, you're not getting any animation from the fingerprint sensor itself. But I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. Now, remember when the Pixel 6 Pro first came out, there was major issues with the fingerprint sensor. But I'll say this, it's fixed. It's been fixed a while ago. This fingerprint sensor is completely and 100% flawless. I mean, seriously, 100% accurate. I can't say that about the Mi 11 Ultra, even though I like the way it feels and the animation, but this is 100% accurate. I like the fingerprint sensor on the Pixel 6 Pro better than the Mi 11 Ultra, because sometimes this one I miss on this one. This one I never miss. No matter how I hold my finger, I don't miss. It opens up every single time, and it's super fast. So I got to give the Pixel 6 Pro the better fingerprint sensor. Excuse me. Now let's talk about the displays. Now that's good because I have both of them lit up here. Now, both are Quad HD plus resolution, okay? But the Mi 11 Ultra, 1700 nits peak brightness. The Pixel 6 Pro, only 777 nits peak brightness. The better display is clearly by far the Mi 11 Ultra. It's just a better overall display. But both displays are beautiful, no question about it. Now, let me give you just a little bit more detail about the displays. Now, talking about the Mi 11 Ultra, you're getting a 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus Super AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate and a peak brightness of 1700 nits. Now, also keep in mind, you have this secondary display back here that can give you the time, the date, the day, your battery percentage. Also, you can receive notifications, answer and reject phone calls, receive text messages, control your media, take photos, and record videos, all with this secondary display. That's why I said this is no gimmick. This is extremely useful. I did a video on just this rear display. So there's no gimmick about this. This is real, and I love it. But the better overall display goes to the Mi 11 Ultra. Now, with the Pixel 6 Pro, you got a 6.7-inch Quad HD LTPO display, AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate. And of course, I mentioned earlier, 777 nits peak brightness. It is beautiful. It's not as dynamic and is nowhere near as bright as the Mi 11 Ultra, but it's a beautiful display. And I wish, they would up the nits to at least 1500 nits peak brightness, and give it a, get the panel from Samsung. Just make it a little more sharp, and a little more dynamic. But it is a beautiful display nonetheless. But of course, the Mi 11 Ultra definitely has the better display. Next, both of these come with dual stereo speakers, but when it comes to overall sound, the Mi 11 Ultra is destroying the Pixel 6 Pro when it comes to dual stereo speakers. These are way louder and more full. They just sound awesome. These are not any bad speakers, don't get me wrong. These speakers on the Pixel 6 Pro does sound very, very good. They get adequately loud, but just overall sound quality, the Mi 11 Ultra is just better in that department. Next, both are IP68 water and dust resistant. So that's important to a lot of people. You want that peace of mind. You want to know that you can take your phone, to the beach, or, well, maybe not the beach, because you may worry about sand, but, like the pool, and, you're not going no deeper than 5 feet, you're good. But if you drop it, say you get caught outside in a rainstorm, or you drop it in the tub or in the shower or in your sink, you ain't got to worry about it getting damaged. Okay? So they both have that certification, and that's good to know. Next, both have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, with both of these, honestly, with moderate to heavy usage, I'm getting a day and a half. I don't really count screen on time because that varies. I go by how long the battery lasts me overall. And with moderate to heavy, because that's the way I use my phone, I don't really use my phone lightly. Moderate to heavy, a day and a half. Heavy, easily through a day. I'm talking about 18, 19 hours, easily. If I'm going heavy, if I'm going crazy. So the battery life on both of these is excellent, and the standby time on both of these is excellent. So no battery anxiety on either device. Next, let's talk about fast wired charging. Now, there's a huge difference between the two of these when it comes to wired charging. With the Mi 11 Ultra, you're getting 67 watt super fast wired charging from 0 to 100% in 36 minutes. I'll say again, 0 to 100% in 36 minutes with 67 watt super fast charging. That's what I'm talking about. Any phone that costs over $1,000 should be able to charge within a half an hour or just over a half an hour. Anything less than that is unacceptable to me, especially when you charge it over $1,000. With the Pixel 6 Pro, unfortunately, you're only looking at 30 watts of wired charging. And from what I've seen with many reviewers, in my experience, you're not even getting 30 watts of power. You're getting like 23 or 25. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's crazy slow. You're looking at almost 2 hours to fully charge this device. It's crazy dirt slow. Like, this is not the kind of device you want to charge, you want to try to charge in a hurry. You want to charge this overnight, or if you get up in the morning, and you got at least 2 hours before you leave out to go to work, which most people don't, they give themselves the least amount of time when they get up. It's just, let's just keep it real. But if you're the type of person that gives yourself at least 2 hours before you leave to go to work, then you could just charge this up in the morning. But if not, you want to charge this up overnight because it's slow, okay? This one, no problem, plug it in. By the time you get out of the shower and get dried off, this phone is going to be full. Next, let's talk about the wireless charging. Now, both of these come with wireless charging. But the Mi 11 Ultra comes with 67 watt super fast wireless charging as well. So you got 67 watt wired charging and 67 watt wireless charging. That's fast. Why? 0 to 100%, 39 minutes. So think about that. The wireless charging is almost just as fast as the wired charging. That's crazy, and I love that feature on here. With the Pixel 6 Pro, 23 watt wireless charging, you're looking at over 3 hours to fully charge it. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I'm sorry. If you're gonna charge this overnight on a wireless charging stand, then you good. No worries. Now, everybody don't care about wireless charging. I do. I use wireless charging all the time. Okay, I got about 5 or 6 wireless chargers. So wireless charger is important to me, especially at night. You know, I put my phone up on the charger and I wake up in the middle of the night, you know, sometime, you know, and I look over, I want to see what time it is. I can easily see that because I got it always on display. I can see my notifications, and I also know that my phone is charging. So I love wireless charging. But there's a drastic difference between how fast these two charge up. Next, both come with reverse wireless charging, also known as power share. But you're getting 10-watt reverse wireless charging on the Mi 11 Ultra and only 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging on the Pixel 6 Pro. So if you need to charge up your smartwatch, another phone, or some earbuds, you're going to do it a lot faster on the Mi 11 Ultra. Next, let's talk about internal storage. Now, the Mi 11 Ultra comes with 256 gigs of internal storage standard. They do have a 512 gig variant also. Now, with the Pixel 6 Pro, standard is 128 gigs, but there is a 256 gig variant. No 512 variant for the Pixel 6 Pro. Next, both come with 12 gigs of RAM. Now, RAM management, I have to say, is better on the Pixel 6 Pro. It has been improved a little on the Mi 11 Ultra when they did the last MIUI 14 update, but it's still not as good as the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I did just change something in my settings where there is a setting where you can extend your storage, like you can give the phone more RAM through your regular storage. So I have yet to test that and see if that improves it more. Because right now I'm going to be up to, I think I added 7. So that's what, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 gigs of RAM. So I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll see. But over just regular 12 gigs, the RAM management is better on your Pixel 6 Pro. Next, both of these devices don't have no expandable storage, and neither one of these devices has a headphone jack. Now, those two things are important to me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I would really love for them to bring back expandable storage and bring back headphone jacks, because to me, there was no reason to remove them, and you do get better overall sound. But that's just me. Some going to say, oh, you need to move on. I'm not moving on from nothing, because there's still flagship phones out there that are giving you a headphone jack. Here's one right here. The ROG 5, guess what's right there? A headphone jack. This is a flagship device, and it has a headphone jack. So don't tell me that they can't do it. I'm not even trying to hear that. All right, next. The Mi 11 Ultra comes with an IR blaster. Now, that's a universal remote control. The Pixel 6 Pro does not have an IR blaster. Now, some people just don't care about that. I do, because if I lose my remote, or say if I'm going away and I want to, use my phone, mirror my stuff from my phone at a hotel right to the TV, I could change, the source, and I could do that on this phone. You can't do that if you don't have one. So I like having that IR blast, and it's not just about TVs, it's about a lot of different things. And I've already went over that with other videos that I've did of this phone, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. But IR blaster, no IR blaster on the Pixel 6 Pro. Next, let's talk about chipset and performance. Now, the Mi 11 Ultra comes with the Snapdragon 888, and the Google Pixel 6 Pro comes with Google's first Tensor chip. Now, both of these phones are fast, smooth, and reliable. Now, in my opinion, based on my experience, excuse me, y'all, I'm dealing with a cold. To me, now, some people may disagree, but look, I have both of these phones. For me, they both perform great. Okay, let me make that very clear. But the Mi 11 Ultra, when it comes down to just speed and smoothness, this is just better when it comes to performance. It's just smooth. Like when I'm going in and out of apps, the animation is just smoother on the Mi 11 Ultra. The Pixel 6 Pro is fast, and it is smooth, and it is reliable. but the animations are not quite as fast and smooth as the Mi 11 Ultra. That's been my experience. Next, customization. The Mi 11 Ultra is far more customizable than that of the Pixel 6 Pro. I don't understand that, seeing that this is a Pixel phone, the creators of Android. I don't know why there should not be any restrictions on a Google phone. It shouldn't be. Now, as you can see, this is not the Pixel launcher. This is, what you call that thing? I done forgot the launcher. Y'all know what launcher I'm talking about, though, that most people use. Nova, yeah, this is Nova launcher. Okay, I couldn't do the Pixel launcher. You know why? Because I couldn't get rid of that stupid Google bar. I couldn't get rid of that that weather thing up at the top. I didn't like it. I want to be able to set up my home screen the way I want. I want more icons. I wanted smaller icons, and the icons were just too big. I just didn't like it. I felt restricted, and I want my home screen to look the way I want it to look. I don't want you to force me to have the Google bar. I don't want that. You know, I didn't want that weather widget they had there. This is the weather widget that I like. This is the way I like my icons. This is how many I want on my screen. And I want a blank screen when I go to left. I don't need the Google feed. I don't need that. So I decided to go with Nova Launcher. So, you know, this phone is not as customizable as it should be, especially being pure Android. That's disappointing to me. And that's one reason why I sent it back the first time. But this is way more customizable. You can pretty much set this phone up however you want. Almost like Samsung. But Samsung is even more customizable than the Mi 11 Ultra. All right. Next, let's talk about operating systems. Now, with the Mi 11 Ultra, you got MIUI 14. And of course, with the Google, you're dealing with pure stock vanilla Android. For y'all purists out there that love stock Android. I'm not a pure stock Android lover. I'm just not. That's just not my thing. But I will say this phone does just work. It just works, and it just works every time. Now, I'm not having any issues out of this phone at all either. But for those, you know, that swear on pure Android, this is a great device that operates extremely well. No operating issues whatsoever. Now, next, both have Android 13, and both are going to receive Android 14. So the Mi 11 Ultra is getting Android 14 and MIUI 15, and the Google Pixel 6 Pro is getting not only Android 14, but is getting Android 15 and 2 more years of security updates. So that is an advantage for the Pixel. The Mi 11 Ultra is not getting Android 15. It is getting 14, and it'll get 1 more year of security updates, as far as I know. So 2 years security patches, 1 year security patches. No, 2 more years security patches on this, and 1 more update of Android to Android 14. All right, next. Both come with Wi-Fi 6, so that's good for those of you that are concerned about that. Now, when it comes to audio through the USB Type-C port, the sound that you get out of this Mi 11 Ultra blows away the Pixel 6 Pro when it comes to overall audio sound. The audio sound that you get out of this phone is amazing with any type of headphones. It don't have to be high impedance headphones. The sound quality is so awesome. I absolutely love it. The Pixel 6 Pro is just okay. It's just okay sound, but the Mi 11 Ultra is far superior. All right, next, let's talk about special features. Now, most devices have special features, some more than others. I'm not covering all of them. I'm just going to cover a few from both devices. So with the Mi 11 Ultra, you got Quick Ball. I'm not going to get into detail because I've already did a review on both of these devices. You got Quick Ball, Second Space, floating windows, memory extension, which is what I mentioned earlier, one-handed mode, and super wallpapers. Now with the Pixel 6 Pro, mostly with the Google Pixel 6 Pro, it's about the software. So if you're heavily reliant upon Google software, this is definitely the phone that you want. All right, so it comes with speech to text, which is probably one of my favorite things about this phone. The speech to text is unbelievable because you could just say your text and then say send, and it'll send it without you even have to press send. That blows my mind. I wish all Android phones had that. Hopefully one day they will, but they got that on lock. That is awesome. All right, you got one-handed mode, magic eraser, night sight, call screening, focus mode, car crash emergency services. So that's just a few. Now there's way more Google feature software, software features more than that. But I just was going to name a few. Of course, if you have a Pixel 6 Pro, you could just go into the settings where it says tips, and you can see it's a ton of software features that you can use with this device that may be helpful to you. And last but not certainly least, let's talk about the cameras. Now, it's going to always come down to even personal preference when it comes to these cameras. Now, I already gave y'all a good look at these cameras. You can see how big the cameras are on the Mi 11 Ultra. You could also see 120 times zoom. That's hybrid zoom. So the cameras on this phone are absolutely amazing. Now, the Google Pixel 6 Pro has amazing cameras as well. They're great. Now, I will say this. This is my personal opinion, and I have my preferences. In my opinion, the cameras on the Mi 11 Ultra are better than that of the Google Pixel 6 Pro. I like the photos quality and the video quality better on the Mi 11 Ultra. That's just my opinion. Now, you could disagree with it, and that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Now, I did at least 2 or 3 videos. I did my full review, and then I did 2 extra videos on the cameras and videos on this alone. So if you want to check those out, you may do so. The Pixel 6 Pro, I did my full review on this. You can see the camera and video samples in that video as well. So you'll be able to see the difference. But in my opinion, the Mi 11 Ultra photos and videos are better than that of the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, both of these have 3 cameras, telephoto, ultra wide, same. But the Pixel 6 Pro can shoot at 4K at 30 on the front-facing camera. The Mi 11 Ultra is only 1080p at 30, which is a disappointment. For something that says it's Ultra, it definitely should be 4K minimum at 30, but no 4K at all is a big disappointment. But both shoot at 4K at 60 on the rear. Now, however, the Mi 11 Ultra does shoot at 8K at 24 frames per second on the rear camera. No 8K on the Pixel 6 Pro. That's not going to matter to most people because unless you have a 8K TV or monitor to play your videos back on, you're not going to really see a difference, honestly. So, no, not really a big deal. The big deal to me, 4K on the front-facing camera on the Pixel 6 Pro. So, I like that. Now, the reason why, not only because of the photo quality and the video quality, do I like the Mi 11 Ultra, also I like the fact that you got 5 times and 10 times optical zoom and 120 times hybrid zoom and 15 times video zoom. And you get 19 shooting modes such as pro mode, multicam, movie effects, vlog, short video, 50 megapixel. So that's just a few that I didn't even name all 19 modes. Comes with a ton of modes. So you're getting way more versatility. There's more things you can do with the camera with the Mi 11 Ultra if you're heavily into the camera. With the Pixel 6 Pro, you're getting great cameras. Like I said, 4 times optical zoom, 20 times digital zoom, 7 times zoom on your videos, and 4K on your rear camera at 60 and 4K at 30 on the front. Now, you're getting beautiful shots on here, especially night shots, known for their night shots. And both cameras have laser auto focus. Okay? So, when it comes down to it, both of these phones have great cameras. However, I prefer the photo and video quality of the Mi 11 Ultra. But you can't go wrong with either because the Pixel is one of the best point-and-shoot cameras out there on the market. And you have that unblur thing where you can unblur even older photos. They have great software built in here to improve the photo quality to improve the photo quality. So you can't go wrong with either one of these phones. Both of these phones are pretty awesome. I love them both. So I highly recommend both of these phones. But when it comes down to it, the Pixel 6 Pro is going to be cheaper. Okay? And it's unlocked for all carriers. That's the only downfall of the Mi 11 Ultra. But if you get this device, you won't need to worry about getting a new device for quite a while, because this phone is going to last you. This phone has everything. Great battery life, great display, great biometrics, great performance, great charging speeds, IR blaster, great speakers, great audio, great cameras. This device has everything except expandable storage and a headphone jack. That's it. That's the only thing it don't have. Pixel, you're getting a great device as well, but it just ain't on the Mi 11 Ultra's level, in my opinion. But I don't have to make the decision to take one or the other because I have both. But this is my favorite overall device. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.